What's going on, everybody? This is Jose Maldonado with Ringside Intel, bringing you another top 10 list from the world of professional wrestling. Ask any group of fans to point to one name that has come to define women's wrestling in the WWE, and most would point to Becky Lynch. The Irish phenomenon has accomplished a ton in her 12 years with the company, soaring to heights no woman before her had ever reached. Now with her impending return to action on Raw's Netflix premiere, we take a look back at her groundbreaking career so far and count down the top 10 Becky Lynch matches. Number 10, Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks versus Charlotte Flair versus Bayley at NXT TakeOver Rival. There's no way they could have known at the time how huge of a deal this would be, but this match was a window into the future of women's wrestling. The amount of talent that has passed through NXT is legendary at this point. And this match is a prime example and remains, as of now, the only time the four horsewomen have ever faced off. A short time after this, WWE would build and tout a women's revolution. This was ground zero for that. Number 9, Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair, Survivor Series 2021. To say that these two women have had a complicated history with each other would be an understatement. And at the height of what may be seen as a tumultuous time between the two, we had this grudge match at Survivor Series. Fans were captivated given the circumstances surrounding the bout, and the two rivals did not disappoint. They put on a physical match that reaffirmed why their names belong firmly at the top. Number 8, Becky Lynch versus Asuka, Royal Rumble 2019. Months into her landmark run as the Man, Becky took on another phenom of the women's division, in Asuka. Two of the most popular and physical women on the roster went at it and put on an instant classic that saw Asuka pull off what might have been seen as a surprising victory at the time, given how hot Becky was. Also, go back and watch the closing sequence of this bout. It's an all-timer. Number 7, Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus, Payback 2023. In 2023, wrestling fans were treated to a feud we never thought we'd see. Arguably, the two biggest female names of their respective eras put on a hell of a show week in and week out that culminated in this fantastic cage match. The nature of the generational clash, coupled with the chip that was placed on their shoulders by being left off the SummerSlam card, only served to add more fuel to this fire. Number 6, Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair versus Asuka, TLC Tables, Ladders, and Chairs 2018. A case can be made for these three women being the premier female wrestlers of their era, and they showed up and showed out at TLC 2018. With the SmackDown Women's Championship hanging in the balance, they brought the house down in what was the first women's match to main event a joint brand pay-per-view. Ronda Rousey's involvement towards the end added even more to the affair that culminated in Asuka's first championship win on the main roster. Number 5, Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks versus Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania 32. This match was a pivotal point in women's wrestling history for a variety of reasons. It was the match where the transition was officially made away from being divas. It was the match that stole the show at the most highly attended WrestleMania of all time. And it was the match that cemented these three women as the marquee players they would be known to be throughout their careers. This match stands as a seminal moment in Mania history. Number 4, Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair, WrestleMania 38, Night 1. If there's a personification of the fruits that were grown as a result of the women's revolution, it's Bianca Belair. And she got to lock horns with big-time Bex here in this phenomenal matchup. The seeds for this feud were planted the previous year at SummerSlam in controversial fashion. But the payoff made it all worth it though, as Becky returned to the scene of her first Mania moment to create another, this time with Belair. Number 3, Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks, Hell in a Cell 2019. Hell in a Cell matches are known for their high stakes and brutality, and this contest brought that in spades. Knowing how hard they had to bring it for this encounter, Sasha and Becky showcased some of the most innovative offense ever seen within the confines of the cell. That chair spot in the corner alone would have likely landed this match on the list. Just fantastic stuff from two of the best who always love to take things up a notch. Number 2, Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks, NXT TakeOver Unstoppable. This was the night Becky broke out. With a fresh new look and a golden opportunity, she seized the moment to show the world what she was capable of. Sasha was the established champion at this point and earmarked for great things in the future. But with this fantastic showing, even in defeat, Becky turned quite a few heads. The standing ovation she received after this match was just a taste of the connection with the crowd that would go on to shape her legacy. And number 1, Becky Lynch versus Charlotte Flair at Evolution. Seen by many as one of the greatest women's matches in WWE history, the last woman standing match between Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair encapsulates everything the women's division has worked for. Two generational talents forever linked both as friends and as rivals, putting on the type of match that years earlier would not have been thought possible within the confines of the company. The Evolution pay-per-view was put together to showcase and celebrate the women of WWE. This match showed the world just how far they had come. Are there any other Becky matches you feel should have made the list? Let us know in the comments. And be sure to check out ringsideintel.com for more cool combat sports content. Like and subscribe all of our videos on YouTube and various other platforms, and I'll catch you on the next one.